quickly check the question. B1 to B15. No, that questionnaire. Questionnaire. So that means B1 to B15. B1 to B15 carry about 3 variables here. So that means we are going to concentrate on B1 to B5. Okay. Do you understand how I get that? This is B1. Look at the questionnaire. B1. Okay. B1, B2, B3. Okay. I need to be very careful here. B1, B2, B3. This I think this thing is mixing up with some other. It seems to be mixing up. So let me check the research question. No. Cross-cultural communication, cultural intelligence, and business. Okay, I've come in. Let me quickly confirm some things. I'm noticing some form of irregularity here. Okay. Okay, so the questionnaire actually has some discrepancy, but then we'll still proceed to use it like that, just for the purpose of this training. So I will say, and that's one of these where I usually emphasize on the need to see that your questionnaire is draft, in accordingly because of chapter 4 as such. This questionnaire now is given to one of our team member, and I'm just getting to see some discrepancy in this. So let's move the research, the analysis. Okay, let's move on to B1 to B15. So we will say that B1 to B15 will be cultural intelligent. Okay, so let's see. Okay, guys, I quickly want to bring something to your notice. I was trying to draft a research questionnaire for this particular study, the study that I used for, to show us chapter 3 and how to get chapter 3 done. So I was faced with a whole lot of all those while I was trying to use it on this particular account. Then I moved to another account, and because writing on this account I was trying to use Gemini, it was not even responding the way I want it. So I could have go to a new chat anyway, but somehow I just decided to come to a new account. So like if it was you, if you don't have multiple accounts, you can just create a new chat and start all over again, provided what you initially from your initial workflow, your prompt and everything, you are not getting anything that is even close to what you want. And what did I observe right here? Even though it was the same chat box that was used to do the chapter 3, I observed that while I was trying to, the output I was getting for the research questionnaire was not it at all. So that was why I then moved straight to another um, account. So I dropped um, the study, the chapter 1, basically drop it on the chart, change it to canvas right here. Don't forget where we have to change it to canvas, this plus sign, then canvas, right? So then I prompt it to say, in respect to this study, draft a research questionnaire that captured the measure of the study objective slash hypothesis. So then it did. So while it did, because remember in our video where we talked about your data analysis, in the chapter 3. Remember, I think there was a particular video that I was talking about, some of the things to watch out for while drafting a research questionnaire is your chapter 3. Yeah. So if the research is based on studying what's it called? What's the name? Inferential statistics. Then inferential statistics is the study is to carry out differential statistics, which basically include regression, correlation, linear regression, multiple regression, all this relationship, all this model that tests relationship between one variable and the other variable. So basically, I used this particular, differential statistics. It will entails that your questionnaire has to carry the life scale measure, which is strongly disagree or strongly agree to strongly disagree or strongly disagree to strongly agree. They are usually in 5, items: strongly agree, agree, neutral or undecided, then they disagree, then strongly disagree. So these are basically the tools, the way to draft a research question that it aims at, making use of inferential statistics or analysis to test the hypothesis. Now, where the hypothesis is talking about a relationship between one variable or another variable, testing between one. If you remember in our chapter 1, while I was drafting the workflow, I talked about how that the hypothesis, while I was interacting with Gemini, I noticed that it was too descriptive and it might not be suitable for inferential statistics analysis. Then I tell it to make it more analytical, and when it becomes more analytical, then you will find stuff like to test, the objectives will sound like to test the effect of motivation, to ascertain the effect, to evaluate the relationship between motivation and stuff like that. But where it is descriptive, it won't be testing relationship between, it won't be evaluating, it will just be like testing pattern. That's where you see something like the nature, to understand the nature or to evaluate the nature of this one to this one. When you get something like this, that is descriptive. So yeah, you can also use it to form a hypothesis, but you know there won't be need to test inferential statistics. So these are some basic statistical rudiments that we need to have at the back of our mind whenever we are drafting our questionnaire. So because this particular, and the AI understand, because the chapter 1, the objective, you understand that most likely I'm using like a scale. Remember that I'm doing this single-handedly compared to the workflow that we did that already had the the workflow. We already interact with the AI right from the onset. So, but I just wanted to show you this thing just in case you are faced with these tasks. So when I prompted it to do this and interacted with it, then it brought out the questionnaire this way. So I was a little bit not so sure whether this questionnaire is suitable to test the hypothesis, because sometimes too, if you don't check, the questionnaire it will be descriptive in nature. It will not be suitable to test hypothesis. And like I always noted that in the face of some certain lecturer, it can fly. But when you are faced with a lecturer, a supervisor that knows his onions, it will not fly. It will not fly, because even when you are carrying out the analysis either with Pro, ChatGPT, or with SPSS, you'll be faced with a whole lot of hurdles, because your data, the data information is not following a proper workflow. So then I had to then interact with it again, even though they gave this regression model, but we don't usually include this, in our chapter 3. Then I said, is this questionnaire sufficient enough to test the hypothesis of the study? then it went ahead and gave me, the methodology sufficiency report. So let me open it so that you see what I'm saying. So, uh, you know, so so I started looking at the hypothesis. Then it says, sufficient evaluation. Section B capture the objective physical, la 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 regression. So yeah, it's look at it. No hypothesis, physical working condition have no signal. Said questionnaire variable section B versus section F. I was then and say, oh, okay. I was expecting it to follow, it in a chronological order, but it didn't. So, which is okay too in that sense. Uh, Come in, let me open the questionnaire again. Something is wrong with Gemini. It has displaced the way it opened before. So, but I already have it on my Microsoft Word. So, if you look at section B is on physical work environment. Section F is then on employee productivity. Now, if you go back to the chapter 1, look at the hypothesis. The first hypothesis, physical working conditions have no significant effect on employee productivity. So if you let's go back to our questionnaire now. You see, so this is employee productivity, and this is physical work condition. So if I'm now to test this variable against this variable, that means the output that I'll be getting, the response output I'll be getting from here will be computed, and then be tested against this. Do you understand now? So that is some of the metrics you need to watch out from. That is when your work can be profiled as an expert. And outside of that, so that's it. So that's what I just intend to show to you guys. So see you guys some other time.